What you're about to hear is the single mistake that quietly destroys your value in any relationship, without you ever realizing it's happening. I've spent weeks studying the patterns behind why people lose respect, lose attraction, and lose power in their relationships, even when they did nothing wrong on the surface. Today, I'm going to break down exactly what this mistake is, why it works against you, and the 7 specific behaviors that come from it. But first, let me tell you the story of Napoleon Bonaparte and Josephine. When Napoleon met Josephine, he was obsessed. He wrote her letters almost daily, sometimes multiple times a day, begging her to write back, professing his love in desperate, overwhelming language. Josephine barely responded. She was indifferent, often cold, sometimes didn't reply for weeks, and the less she gave, the more he chased. He rearranged military plans to see her. He sent messengers across war zones just to deliver letters. The most powerful man in Europe, a man entire armies feared, became someone who would wait by a window for a letter that might not come. Here's what's fascinating. Years later, when Napoleon's power grew and his attention shifted to his empire, the dynamic flipped completely. Josephine became the one writing desperate letters. She became anxious, insecure, chasing his attention. And Napoleon, now busy building an empire, became distant. The relationship became valuable only when he stopped pursuing and started being pursued. This is not a coincidence. This is a law of human psychology so consistent that it appears across history, across cultures, and across every type of relationship. Romantic, professional, even friendships. The mistake is this: chasing destroys value. And once you understand why, you'll start noticing it everywhere, including in your own life. Here are the 7 ways this single mistake shows up, and how each one is quietly costing you respect, attraction, and power. The first mistake is over-availability. When you are always available, always free, always responding within seconds, always rearranging your life around someone else's schedule, you are sending an unconscious signal. My time has no value. Think about it. Things that are valuable are usually difficult to access. A luxury brand doesn't put its products on sale every day. A highly successful person doesn't have an open calendar. Scarcity creates value, not because of manipulation, but because of basic human psychology. We value what is harder to obtain. When you make yourself infinitely available, you remove scarcity entirely. People stop wondering, what is this person doing right now? Because the answer is always the same: waiting for me. The second mistake is excessive reassurance. This one is subtle, but devastating. When someone seems distant, the instinct is to reassure them, to explain yourself, to clarify your intentions, to prove your loyalty. But excessive reassurance sends a hidden message. I'm afraid you'll leave, so let me convince you to stay. And the moment someone senses fear of loss, the power dynamic shifts immediately. They now hold the power, because they know you're afraid. Confidence doesn't need to explain itself repeatedly. The third mistake is mirroring someone's distance with more effort. This is the most common one. When someone pulls away, the natural instinct is to lean in harder, call more, text more, plan more. But distance should be met with matching energy, not increased effort. If someone creates space and you fill that space completely, you teach them that their actions have no consequences, that no matter how they behave, you'll still be there, fully engaged, fully available. The fourth mistake is needing closure or explanations. When a relationship ends or fades, romantic or professional, there's a deep urge to understand why, to get the full explanation, to have one final conversation that makes sense of everything. But chasing closure often means chasing the person one more time, which reopens the dynamic of pursuit. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is accept the silence as the answer. The fifth mistake is over-explaining your worth. When someone questions your value, directly or indirectly, the instinct is to list your accomplishments, your qualities, everything that makes you valuable. But valuable things don't need to announce their value. A diamond doesn't explain why it's expensive. The moment you start justifying your worth, you've already signaled insecurity about it. The sixth mistake is staying in conversations after you've been disrespected. Whether it's a dismissive comment, a joke at your expense, or being talked over, staying engaged immediately afterward, acting like nothing happened, teaches people that disrespect has no cost. The seventh mistake, and the most damaging, is making someone the center of your world while you are not the center of theirs. This creates an imbalance so deep that it changes how someone perceives you entirely. You stop being a person with your own life, goals and value, and become an extension of their attention. And ironically, the less central you make someone in your daily decisions, the more central you often become in theirs. Because people are drawn to those who have a full life, not those who revolve entirely around them. So what's the solution? It's not about playing games, being cold, or pretending not to care. It's about understanding one fundamental truth. Value is communicated through behavior, not words. Every time you chase, over-explain, overgive, or center your life around someone who isn't reciprocating, you are teaching them, through your actions, what you're worth. And people believe actions far more than words. Napoleon eventually understood this, but only after years of being the one who chased. Once he stopped, the entire dynamic of his most important relationship reversed completely. The question is, are you willing to look at your own relationships and recognize where you might be doing one or more of these 7 things, often without even realizing it? Because awareness is the first step. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Stay with this channel, because we are just getting started.